Hello friends, welcome back to the flip side. Today we are finally going to be talking about my time working at Hot Topic. I worked there for 2.5 years and I need to preface this is no hate, tea, or shade towards the Hot Topic company at all. The company itself was fine, it's fun, it's all cool. I'm just going to be talking about my experiences with the customers and the people working there. This can happen at any retail store, so I'm not targeting Hot Topic. It's just important to note that it was there for the things being purchased and whatnot. I love the OG crew that I worked with when I first started working there in 2016. I made a lot of great friends, I made a lot of memories, I still like the company, I still shop there, I still want to be sponsored. And of course, I'm wearing my original Hot Topic name tag from when I used to work there. Very, very Hot Topic-esque. I don't actually know if I was supposed to keep this or not, but who else would want it, you know? Doesn't make sense for them to keep it. So anyways, with all that being said, here are my collection of memories working at Hot Topic from 2016 until 2019. So I'm gonna start off with my favorite story, which also just so happens to be one of the first stories that happened to me while I was working there. It must have been the first 2 weeks of me starting, maybe first month. It was a slow day, it was just me and a manager. I was still kind of in training. And this big, buffed, middle-aged biker dude comes in, hella intimidating. He has a ton of tattoos, he has scars all over his face and arms and body. He has thick, heavy, dark sunglasses, even though it's already dark enough inside of a Hot Topic. And I was this small, little, emo 16-year-old who had to go and help him, and I was so intimidated. I go up to him all awkward about it, hey, is there anything I can help you find today? And he's just chilling, looking at all the American Horror Story bracelets, and I'm just okay, that's cool, yeah, we have some of this over here, and blah, blah, blah. I was telling him about all the sales we had going on. He actually grabbed a few of the bracelets, and then he started looking through all the different stickers, and he was grabbing out all these different Alice in Wonderland stickers, explaining about how excited he was to put them on his biker helmet. Bro, that instantly made me feel so much more calm and better about the situation, so much less intimidated. He actually ended up being this really cool, fun, chill, laid-back guy. He was just so calm and gentle, looking through everything. He was just so wholesome. And we were all joking and laughing, and he was you know, you were one of the coolest, nicest retail employees I've come across in a really long time. It was just such a wholesome moment. And he walked out the store with the little Alice in Wonderland sticker on his spiked-ass biker helmet. Seriously, just my favorite customer experience story ever. I hope he's doing well. I hope he's watching this. Now, however, this next story just never fails to astound me. What makes it so much funnier too is that this is a teacher who worked at my high school. She came in to return something, not a t-shirt, not an accessory, not a Pop Funko, but trying to return a very obviously used lipstick. Let's call her Miss Makeup because she just had blue makeup smeared up her eyes every single day. And don't come at me for making fun of her. Okay, she had plenty of time to learn how to do it. Plus, she was this crazy, mean teacher who would call the cops on students if they accidentally picked up their backpack the wrong way. And then she'd even bribe other students to help her fight the other students in court when she would try to call the cops on them, even though none of them obviously got brought to court because it was so ridiculous. But she would try to bribe them with money to help her fight in court against these people who just picked up their backpacks in aggressive ways. And it got so bad, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. The principal had to take her classroom phone away because how often she would call the cops for everything. Anyways, Miss Makeup came in to return this very obviously used tube of lipstick that quite honestly looked like it had a bite taken out of it, and brought it up to the manager insisting that it needed to be returned because it didn't work anymore. Even though it was halfway up her nose, the lipstick clearly wasn't the problem. And obviously the manager said it can't be returned, it was clearly used, they can't return makeup items that have been clearly opened and used. And Miss Makeup fought that claim as if the life of her blue eyeshadow depended on it. They went back and forth for 10 minutes until Miss Makeup just swallowed the whole tube of lipstick and left. You know, I'm kidding about that last part. But she did bitch about it for 10 minutes before storming out, being all I'm never gonna come back here, meh, 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 meh. Which, it's so funny to me that people think that's a threat. Because one, we don't want to deal with customers like you anyways. And two, when they constantly return shit like that they buy and use and whatever, and if the company actually does end up returning it, it's just bad for business. So it's a win-win. We don't want to see you anyways. And that's why I quit. I'm kidding. But don't forget to subscribe because that's going to be a video in the very near future. Anyways, speaking of not being seen, there was also this customer who came in fully convinced that we were in the Matrix and that the government was targeting him specifically. He had this very computer geek vibe about him and came in wearing these very heavy dark sunglasses, like a hat, trying really hard to be like covered up, a trench coat. He was saying he had to constantly be in disguise and that he couldn't give me his phone number for the rewards program because they would find him that way. But I guess he had an email that he was fine giving me. And I shit you not, the email was something along the lines of W829ZABLTQRWY 23andMe 62 AVEW 47 at gmail.com. Dude had it memorized. He said it had to be long and complicated like that so that nobody else would take it, find it, steal his information, and find him. And I don't know if that's genius or just lunacy. Speaking of lunacy though, these are some great segues and I didn't even plan for them. So there's this lady who came in looking for a shirt. She had no idea what size she was. It was like 2 days before Black Friday. The store was a mess. It was starting to get busy. And just for some background information, we had gotten completely overstocked the day before. Like, I don't know who's in charge of it, but they just gave us so much stock that we just had no room for it. It took up the whole back room, into the break room. We even had to put a lot of the boxes in the dressing room, which means we obviously had to close the dressing room because we didn't want people, you know, trying stuff on the fitting room and just picking some stuff out of the boxes like it's Halloween. This ain't the little prize box at your dentist's office. So yeah, we had to shut down the fitting room. It was a mess. It wasn't the employee's fault. It was whoever sent it. I don't know. Anyways, this lady had a shirt in every size from like extra small to triple XL and tried to take it into the fitting room with her. She was probably like around 40 years old. I explained to her the whole overstock situation. I apologized that the fitting room was unavailable, blah, 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 blah. And oh my God, she acted like I insulted her entire bloodline. She was telling me how I was so stupid and lazy and unprofessional. I apologized again for the inconvenience. I explained to her, hey, we have a really great return policy. If you just want to purchase the sizes that you think you might be, try them on, then come back, return the ones that don't fit. I understand it's an inconvenience, but this is what we have to work with right now. And let me tell you, I spent the whole next day like powering through, working overtime, trying to get those boxes with another coworker out onto the floor and make it work without looking overcrowded, just so that way the fitting room could be open again. And of course, she was fighting it and yelled for the manager and blah, 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 blah. And obviously the manager told her the same exact thing, and she just threw another fit. Anyways, long story short, she ended up purchasing 3 out of like the 20 sizes she was holding, and then she began to leave, but not before she had to about one more thing. She wanted to about how we are so terrible and the company is so terrible for giving her clothes to her in a plastic bag. To which I responded, actually, ma'am, they're biodegradable, so go plant yourself a garden in it and calm down. And I don't think any of us who worked that day actually ever saw her again, so she, I don't know, maybe she just cut the sizes. I don't know what happened to her. Now these last 2 customer stories are just short and dumb, but they're funny and they stood out to me nonetheless. But this one guy came in trying to replace this like ring that he had lost that his like girlfriend had given him. I guess it was this plain black ring. He either lent it to a friend or something, I don't know. He was gonna find it later that night. He just needed a replacement for the rest of the day. We tried so hard looking through the back, looking through different boxes, the jewelry section, could not find any plain black ring to give this dude, but I was determined to help him. So you know what we did? We got those like size wheels for like trying to guess what gauge size your stretched ears are at, measured his finger, and found a plain black steel tunnel to give him. It looked a little funky because obviously it was a little like wider in like the bandwidth than a normal ring would be, but it worked. He purchased it, he loved it, and it was all great. I did have to inform him though that like it can't be returned because it's jewelry. You can't really return jewelry that's been on your body or in your body. And he was totally cool about it. He was like, no worries, like it's all good. Just a fun little story. And then there's the second guy who came in one day, also very early on during my time working there. This guy came in and he was as high as a kite. Completely zooted, stoned out of his mind, asking if we had a Batman shaped or themed bong. And I just like messing with people when they're just high as balls. And so I go, Man, we just sold the last one. We're just freshly sold out. And just for the record, as far as I know, Hot Topic has never sold anything like bong or weed related. Like, go to Spencer's. Anyways, this was mainly just like my wild customer stories that have kind of stood out to me most over the years. But there's definitely going to be a part 2 because there's so much more to say about the people that I worked with and why I ended up quitting. So stay tuned. Also, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and if you're excited for part 2. And of course, go ahead, feel free to make yourself at home here and click that little subscribe button right down below. It is completely free, and so is clicking that little bell icon. That way you can stay up to date every single time I post a brand new video. And if you want to keep in touch with me on all my other platforms, it's just going to be at masonscythe on all of them. Or if you don't want to put in all that extra work, I totally get it. You can just click that link tree down below in my description. And for more kind of secret behind the scenes type of vlog-like content, you can follow me at officialscythe on TikTok only. I do not share that anywhere else except for my YouTube channel, so if you want a little bit more personalized content, a little bit more one-on-one type stuff. For example, you would have seen all the behind the scenes of redesigning and painting this wall. Hello, we have a new setup. It's beautiful. And you would have seen it all if you've been following my second account at officialscythe on TikTok only, so don't forget. And if you've already done all of the above, it is so much appreciated. You can also feel free to click on some other buttons on the screen or around. Feel free to check out some other videos of mine, so that way you can stay up to date and entertained with everything that's been going on. I'm losing my voice. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to stay tuned, stay spooked, and I'll see you on the flip side.